Hey, Jefferson Bryant from Red Dirt Rods. Now today we're continuing work on our 69 Malibu, and as you can see we've got about a golf ball size hole in this rear quarter panel. Well, we're going to cut this out and replace it with a patch panel that we got from Original Parts Group, and we're going to show you how to do it for your project. First thing we got to do is remove this accent strip, and these are usually held in with little weld-on pin tabs from the inside, so you got to unclip those, and they can be a pain in the butt. So we're going to use a angled trim tool, and we're just going to gently try to slide this up in here. Sometimes easier said than done. When you're doing this, you want to pry gently. If you just grab this and really crank on it, you'll tweak the chrome, and then you'll have to replace it. There we go. Maybe we can get this one to pop off. Slide it forward a little bit, sometimes helps. And there we go. Alright, so this one is held in with a nut on the back side. Wrench that off. We could come in here and replace this entire section, but there's no need to. All we need is this little corner, so that's all we're going to replace. So I'm going to go ahead and check our fit. Everything seems pretty good. We need to look in here, find all the rust bubbles. There's a couple ways to do that. You can use a pick and just kind of puncture it in here. See how it went right through the metal right there? That's rusted. You're not going to necessarily see it, but the metal was weak enough that our punch just went through. So see, that's all good metal right there. The good metal ends right about here, so make a mark. But we want to check everywhere else. Yeah, there's a bunch of little bubbles, but some of that's just paint chips from rock chips. So now we know the part of this that's completely rusted is from here to here. So we're just going to go ahead and add a couple marks here. Now before we cut out our panel, we're going to go ahead and put on some McCann Square gloves to protect our hands. We're going to wear some goggles for our eyes and hearing protection. Alright, so what we're going to do is hit this with a wire wheel, treat it with some rust killer. Alright, for this we're using a wire wheel mounted to a angle grinder. We're just going to clean this up. Remember, safety first. Now Now we're using some Eastwood rubberized rust encapsulator to protect the interior of the quarter panel area from future rust. This is rubberized, so it's going to resist water and debris and things like that. So it's going to keep our interior area free of rust in the future. Now we don't want to spray the areas that we're going to weld to. We just want to get the areas that won't be painted later. This is our original parts group lower quarter panel patch, and we've got it placed up against the body, and we're using a silver pencil to make a few marks as to the location of our rusted area that we trimmed away. Now we're cutting this entire section a little bit larger than what it really needs to be. That way we can trim it away little by little and get the perfect fit that we're looking for. We've got a nice body line on this lower quarter panel right above our cut, and so we're going to use that as a reference for our panel as the top piece. Again, we're cutting this large so that we can trim it down later and get a perfect fit. To cut the panel, we're using a set of electric shears. This makes it nice and easy, and you get a clean cut without jagged edges. You do want to make sure that you're using some good work gloves so that you don't cut yourself. Got our panel trimmed up as close as we can get it with the electric shears, so we're going to go ahead and start using the grinder. Remember, protect your eyes. We got our panel trimmed and we're ready to go, so what we need to do now is punch a couple of holes over here for some spot welds, and we'll be ready to clamp this sucker up, start welding. We use some mini magnets to help hold this in place. So what we're going to do is stitch weld this to the quarter panel. Now to do that, we're just going to place a series of tack welds about 2 inches apart, and then we'll go all along the panel, and we'll come back, we'll do another series and then another series, and eventually all the tack welds will connect, so we'll have a solid seam. We've got it all welded up. Everything's looking good. I don't think we have too much warpage in here. We're going to go ahead and hit this with a grinder. Before we do that, eyes and ears. We've got our welds dressed down, so until we do the body work, we're going to spray a little bit of rattle can primer on here to protect them. Make sure you visit opgi.com for more videos, and we'll see you next time.